Welcome in to Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. So glad to have you with us. Coming up on today's show, we will break down your Seattle Seahawks path to the NFL playoffs. What's it going to take for this team to make the postseason? How do their odds stack up of winning the division seed-wise? Who do you need to root against? The remaining schedule. We will go over all of that and more in just a few moments from right now. Before we do, though, folks, we are getting very, very close to 32,000 subscribers here on Seahawks Today. I need 154 more subscribers to get there. Yesterday, I said, let's get 50 more. Let's take this a day at a time. You guys delivered. You answered the call. We gained over 50 yesterday. Let's keep it going. Let's gain another 50 today and get another day closer to 32,000. We're going to get there by the end of the week, but we need your help. Subscribe now for daily Seahawks videos, live shows on Wednesdays, our watch parties every game day. It's all in one place, youtube.com/SeahawksTV. The run to the playoffs is on for your Seattle Seahawks as they enter the home stretch of the 2022 regular season. And what will it take for Seattle to make the postseason? Let's begin with looking at the playoff picture in the NFC. Right now, the Philadelphia Eagles are your number one overall seed with the league's best 11-1 record, followed by the Minnesota Vikings, who currently sit at 10-2 in the number 2 seed. Then the NFC West leader, San Francisco 49ers, hold the 3 seed at 8-4. Tampa Bay at the 4 spot, Tom Brady and company sitting at 500 at 6-6. And then comes the wild card picture. And that's where things get interesting with the Seahawks currently on the number 7 spot of the wild card and number 2 in the NFC West. Now, things can obviously change. The Seahawks play the 49ers next week, and we'll have a chance to be even with San Francisco, but then you still have scenarios involving the tiebreakers and whatnot. The Niners are going to be without Jimmy G the rest of the year. How are they going to be without Jimmy G? So when you look at this Seahawks team, you look at the NFC West situation, but also the wild card. There are multiple roads potentially for Seattle to make this postseason. You don't have to win the NFC West, although you would like to, but if you can find a way in, one way or the other, then that's what we're looking at essentially. There are multiple paths. We'll break down those paths here in just a second. First and foremost, though, will the Seahawks make the playoffs? That's our pinned comment today. You know, I get an ad break. If so, take advantage of it. Get your votes in. Type HY for hell yes if you think they'll make the playoffs. If you don't think so, type HN for hell no and get your votes in. Tell me if you think Seattle makes the postseason. HY for hell yes, HN for hell no. So the New York Times delivered some news that was not fake news, as their current playoff projection gives the Seahawks about a 64% chance to make the playoffs as of right now. Now, this is based on 231,000 simulations. And the odds before the win against the Rams were about 53%. They've gone up to 64%, so 11% just within the week since that win. Now, here's more on the playoff positions, according to the New York Times. Trying to get the number 1 seed in a bye week, basically, that's not going to happen. Less than 1% at this point in time. It would take a miracle of some sorts for the Seahawks to get the 1 seed. They'd have to win out, and you'd have to see losses from pretty much everybody. Hosting a wild card game, that one not out of the question, but still a long shot at this point. Winning the division and everything, about 11% chance. Getting a wild card spot, about 50-50 it seems, about 52% chance. And then missing the playoffs as a whole is running about a 36% chance. So right now, just the way the odds stack up, the first fight for Seattle is just getting in the show, just hopefully getting a wild card spot. The division race, while not out of the question, is still a ways to go, essentially, for Seattle. The main thing is staying the course and making the wild card is goal number one for this team, and then you figure everything else out from there. We'll look at the remaining schedule for your Seattle Seahawks in just one moment. Before we do, today's show is brought to you by Fetch, the free app that allows you to scan your receipts and earn points that can be redeemed for gift cards to your favorite stores, restaurants, and online retailers. It's an easy-to-use app where you snap a photo of your receipts from purchases to any store, or click the e-receipt option, and Fetch can connect to your Amazon account, and you'll earn points for all shipped orders. Plus, connect your email to earn points for every e-receipt you receive from Uber, Instacart, or purchases you make online. Those points then can be redeemed for gift cards at your favorite stores and restaurants. Fetch is available on iPhone and Android. Use our link, chatsports.com/Fetch, and enter the promo code CHAT at sign-up for 5,000 points when you scan your first receipt. That's the equivalent of a free $5 gift card. It's a free app, and the 5,000 bonus points is only for a limited time. So, get started now. Chatsports.com/Fetch, and enter the promo code CHAT. The link is also in the comments and the description of today's video. Sign up now, chatsports.com/Fetch. All right, let's move on now, and here are 3 things that you need to know about this Seahawks team and the position that they're in. For the final 5 games for Seattle are home games. And also, of those 4 out of 5 games remaining, they are going to be taking on teams that are currently starting a backup quarterback. So that certainly bodes well just matchup-wise in those remaining games. And then one of those games is a Thursday night game. That would be the San Francisco game next week. So with that, you would be looking at Seattle playing on a short week next week, but then getting kind of a mini bye week of sorts the week following. So something to keep in mind down this stretch. These things kind of bode well for the Seahawks as far as that goes, with two games in 10 days, but then the mini bye to follow after that. So with that, how confident are you that Seattle wins the division? We asked you earlier about making the playoffs. What about winning the division and trying to catch up to speed with the San Francisco 49ers and winning this division? Scale it for me in the comment section. 1 through 10, how confident you are that Seattle will ultimately walk away with a division title here. So Nate Silver and the folks at 538, they do election odds, and they also look at the playoff percentages by game. And this is what's remaining the rest of the way for Seattle and what their chances are winning these next few games are. You start with the Panthers this week. That's their best chance of any game remaining. The easiest game left on the schedule is this Sunday against Carolina, about a 70% chance. And then you move ahead to Thursday Night Football on Thursday night, and this is a change. Remember, we showed you this number a couple weeks ago, and the Seahawks were not favored at home against San Francisco. Now that's to the Seahawks' favor at 61%. Then on Christmas Eve, you take on the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes and company, one of the best teams in the NFL. That is a tough place to play. That number doesn't stack up well for Seattle at 21%. But then the final 2 games, you get the Jets on New Year's Day at 62%. The Jets have a lot of problems of their own right now. And then the Rams, to wrap up the season, who you just beat. You get them at home to end the season, and that game's at 66%. So with all that being said, according to 538, the Seahawks should be able to win 4 out of their last 5 games, which means the Seahawks would finish with an 11-6 record. Now, I told you a couple days ago, I think the magic number for this Seahawks team is to get to 10 wins. I think that in this NFC, if you get to 10, you're in. Not just because it rhymes either. If you get to 11, then we're talking about a division title potentially, but definitely a wild card spot at the very least. 11-6, considering all things that were considered going into this year, you would gladly take. Remember when Pete Carroll said that he expected this team to win 10 games and everybody thought he was crazy? Well, things have changed quite a bit for Seattle. So before we go, predict the record for the Seahawks the rest of the way. How will they finish? Do you agree with 538 of the 11-6 prediction? Do you think they'll win out and go 12-5, or will they do worse? Let me know in the comments section. Predict the final record for your Seattle Seahawks the rest of the way. As always, you can follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Tyler Jones Live, and I will see you next time right here on Seahawks Today.